Beast before they start to play the Gusto. So yeah, and I just remembered that Paprika, she is not a tuner. She's just a regular effect monster, uh, a psychic level 3. So, but yeah, the Gustos are one of my picks to be a top deck this upcoming this early format. Next up, we have the Kawaki. Wait, I already spoke on this. Where the hell I got this dragon in here? That's a cool looking dragon. Anyway, the Galaxy and the Photon archetypes. You know, now the Photons are an archetype themselves, and the Galaxy monsters have been kind of like that assistant archetype to the Photons. But again, come Primal Origins, they have cards coming in the game that are really trying to make the Galaxies their own archetype. One of those cards I did a card review on, and it's really interesting what they have coming. And I believe this is the first time ever it's been done, and it's going to be done with the Galaxies, and that's going to attract people, and that's going to be one of the reasons why I feel um, the Galaxies and the Photons are going to be one of those top decks you see this format. And the card that I'm talking about is Galaxy Serrano. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you seen a monster that can be special summoned during the battle phase that gave you the option of exceed summoning at that moment? Like literally. That's what Galaxy Serrano is. And it's coming for the galaxies. Now, the effect of Galaxy Serrano is that it's a light level 8 um, effect monster that when one of your galaxy monsters are targeted for an attack, you can special summon that from your hand, and then you have the option of exceed summoning with it during the battle phase. And you tell me that's not going to be one of the reasons why people are going to even bother with it? You know, people are going to flock towards the galaxy monsters for that reason. When was the last time you had the option of exceed summoning during the battle phase because one of your monsters were targeted? You know what I mean? When one of your monsters was targeted for attack. You know, that's more than enough reason for anybody to get one to try out the galaxies. So yeah, I feel like and really stick with them at that. So yeah, I feel like the Galaxy is going to be one of those top decks this early format. Next up, we got the Gladiator Beast. Reason Gladiator Beast Augustus. It is a new Gladiator Beast, and people miss Gladiator Beast. And the fact that they're getting new supports, it really puts smiles on their faces. I had people in the comments under Gladiator Beast Augustus's card review that hell yeah, they got smiles on their faces. Because I said the same thing in that card review. You know, I know Gladiator Beast users got smiles on their faces. They missed their Gladiator Beast, and now they got reasons to play them again. You know, so most definitely they will be played, and that's why I say they will be. This will be one of the top decks um, this early format. Because the reason being that even though Gladiator Beast Augustus is a level 8 monster, I believe that Bestiari is also unlimited this format, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that real quick. Yeah, Gladiator Beast Toronto right there. Making sure that I got my information right before I look that up. Let me see. Konami, January 1st, ban list. I gotta look at this. Because if I'm not mistaken, Gladiator Beast Bestiari is unlimited. And I am mistaken, so I'm glad I looked that shit up. But yeah, no, I believe it got semi-limited. No, no, it wasn't semi-limited. It don't even fucking matter. They got a new fucking Gladiator Beast coming out for the in Primal Origins, and that's enough for people to want to that miss the Gladiator Beast to get behind him. And with this new Gladiator Beast Augustus, even though it's a level 8 and the other Gladiator Beasts are level 4, with Augustus, what it does is that when it's special summoned from the deck, you know, by normal means of the gladiators, you can special summon the gladiator beast from your hand. And because it's a gladiator beast effect that's using, you know, that's a gladiator beast, you know, the monster's effects will still activate. So that's something unique. Like they never had that before. You know what I mean? So that's good for them. Not to mention, you can still, um, you know what I mean. You'll still be able to, suddenly do your contact fusion into the beasts that you see up here. So that's enough to make them want to play them. So yeah, I think Gladiator Beast will be one of those top decks this early format. Next up, we have the Boojums, or the War Gods, as pretty much still like to call them. And they have some new support. And even without that, the Boojums, they've been using cards like Kaiser Coliseum, and they also been using cards like Tinky, I believe, you know, which I kind of corrected myself. I believe that it searched for any, so like Beast Warrior monster. Um, I believe I said, saying in that Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, that Tinky was a card that searched for Fire Beast Warriors. I stand corrected. Like that's all Beast Warriors because I remember using it in the Boojums myself. Um, and yeah, since Tinky got unlimited, for the same reason why people are playing that, people are going to flock towards, they're going to use that card in the Boojums because it gives them easy access to cards like Yamato, um, uh, Mizuchi, etc. And those Beast Warrior Boojums are the key cards in really making that deck as good as it is because you need them on the field in order to activate those hand traps. And yeah, people are playing them a lot now. So, not to mention that card, Kaiser Coliseum, miraculously become popular out of nowhere. They're using it in the Boojums, and it limits the amount of cards your opponents can have on their side of the field. You know what I'm saying? Well, saying like they're monsters, but you know, I think the Boojums are going to be one of the top decks being played this format as well. Um, Now I'm going out on a limb here, but there's this new archetype coming out. Saying like uh, in Primal Origins, um, called the Artifacts, and I feel like this is going to be one of the top decks that's going to be played early format. Reason why I say that, just like all the other reasons I had for the previous, saying decks, there is something about the or this archetype that makes them so special that we've seen in other cards before, but it won't be as emphasized on as it will be in this archetype, and that's that you're able to set monsters from your hand into the spell and trap card zone, and that's basically their motif. When they're set in your spell and trap card zone and they get destroyed during your opponent's turn, you can special summon them, and then they have other effects that activates from that range from cards like that range from um, special summoning, that range from some draw power, that range from card destruction, etc., etc. And that's going to be something unique that we haven't really gotten too much of. I mean, we've seen it in cards like Toy Magician, we've seen it with uh, Silver Sniper. It's been there, but it's not going to be as emphasized as it will be in this. So, yeah, I believe like the silver lining in all of these decks that I mentioned, or like my picks for the top decks to be played this early format, is that they all have something that attracts people to want to play them again. Again, like with the Gustos, you barely see people playing Gustos now. It's pretty much like they don't even exist in their eyes. Like they're there, but they're not going to touch them. But when that new monster comes in Primal Origins, that's enough to make them want to go back and play them again, because that card is really good. Even though it's not a tuner, I have to correct myself like that. It's not a tuner, but it still is their version of Junk Synchron. You know what I mean? And it's a lot going on with that and that alone. Um, but it's a lot going on there.